Happy New Year. Hopefully 2024 brings you and me a lot of joy and success. But in today's video, we're gonna see if I can predict correctly 10 things that are gonna happen in football in 2024. Now, you guys know my predictions are not very good, so this is probably not going to start 2024 off well, but we'll see. Maybe 2024 is the year I finally get good at predictions. Probably not, but hopefully I am right. So I've got a range of different topics, transfers, managers, trophies, etc. And these are all 10 things I think will happen in the calendar year of 2024 in football across European football. Some of them are a bit bold, some of them are more realistic, so of course put in the comments below any predictions you have for the year, and let's begin in no particular order. Number 1, Bellingham wins the Ballon d'Or. Now we start with a fairly bold prediction here, and that's my very early prediction for the Ballon d'Or. For me, there's actually a lot of contenders for the Ballon d'Or in 2024, and it's going to come down a lot to the Champions League for me. It of course won't be Lionel Messi or Ronaldo, so we are now entering the post-Messi, Ronaldo Ballon d'Or era, where I believe it will be passed around year after year. And the first one to win it after Messi and Ronaldo for me is the England sensation Jude Bellingham. The way I see it is the main contenders are Bellingham, Mbappé, Haaland and Harry Kane for me. Maybe you could chuck some other players in there, but I think those four are the favourites. Now all four for me, as we may discuss later, will at least expect to win their league titles, but it will be about who has the bigger impact in that league run and also their Champions League run. And considering Bellingham is a new signing and already come in as Madrid's star man, that's a pretty big impact if he continues this form and leads Madrid to a league title. That's pretty impressive. Now Haaland for me, I think will suffer because he's not at Euro 2024, which will also play a big part in the award. So if Jude Bellingham has a good Euros and Mbappé doesn't go crazy in the Euros, which is definitely possible and could potentially mean he wins it, and Madrid go deep in the Champions League, Bellingham has a good performance in there as well, I think he's favourite for the award. He just needs to keep this incredible form up for the rest of the season, and he could join the list of English players to win the award. Number 2, Salah heads to Saudi. Now the Saudi Pro League clubs went on a wild spending spree last summer, snapping up numerous big name players from each of the top leagues in Europe, but they never really got any huge world class players in their primes. The likes of Neymar, Benzema, Kante were all past their primes when signing. However, I anticipate they will look to ramp things up even more in the next couple of transfer windows by acquiring the services of at least one world-class player in their prime. They tried last summer with bids for Mbappé and Osimhen, but they rejected them, and they also went in for Salah. I actually think they would have got Salah last summer if they had come in earlier in the window for him, but I think in 2024 they will try again for Salah, and Liverpool, with his contract running out, I think will be tempted if a big offer comes up. Do not be surprised if Salah and Liverpool have their heads turned in 2024. Prediction number 3, Man City win 4 in a row. I said we would get onto it, and here we go. Sorry Arsenal and Liverpool fans, I think 2024 is the year where Man United's Premier League record of 3 consecutive Premier League titles is broken. Now while Arsenal and Liverpool look good, it would be brave not to back and you have to make them the favourites. I think they will get over the line, and in fact I'm going to go one step further and say it's going to be much easier than last season's dramatic title race. Now I think both Arsenal and Liverpool have shown quite a few flaws this season, with both teams dropping points to teams they really shouldn't be dropping to. And you know, if you're going to win the title against a team like Man City, you can't drop points there. Man City have also not been good, but they've had a lot of players out. Once De Bruyne is back, Haaland is back, Stones is back, I see Man City clicking and maybe not running away with the league, but I think they will take the top spot and not really give it back with a historic 4 in a row pending. Prediction number 4, Girona finish above Barcelona. Sticking with Man City, kind of a very bold prediction here, and I predict Girona will finish above Barcelona in 2024. Now, Girona have been one of the stories of the season so far, and if you want a more detailed explanation of them, check out the video I made about a month ago, about 10 teams having incredible seasons where they feature. Now, Girona are currently in the title race, and as of recording, are already 7 points clear of Barca, which is crazy considering Barca always viewed them as not even a little brother, just irrelevant to them. But they are now very much relevant, and while I don't think Girona go all the way and win the league, I do think they might fall off, but I don't think their fall off will be that much, to be honest. They have done so well so far, and it's not like they are scraping wins, they are comfortably beating teams, so I suspect they will keep this form up. And the reason they finish above Barca for me is also because I don't see Barca doing very well. I actually think, here's a mini prediction, Xavi gets sacked in 2024, as I just think Barca are on a downward trajectory right now, and that's the opposite for Girona, who I really hope can pull something special off this season. Prediction number 5, English teams flop in Europe. Now, if we look at all of the European competitions this season, if you had to pick the favourites for each one, I actually think an English club is favourite for every single one. In the Conference League, Aston Villa are tipped by most to win that competition. Liverpool are heavy favourites for the Europa League, and the Champions League, Man City are backed to go back to back. But I actually think despite this, England will have a bad spell in Europe in 2024. Now, I'm not saying none of these will win the competition, but I think it's very unlikely. Actually, I don't think it's going to happen at all, but 3 or even 2 of them win it. I also think Arsenal and Brighton could do well, but I don't really see them winning their competitions. Man City, for me, I actually don't think they win the Champions League, just because of how hard it is to win back-to-back UCLs. Liverpool, for me, I don't think we'll take the Europa League serious enough to win it. If you get to the stage where Liverpool are still in the title race and have a Europa League semi or quarter-final, I'm pretty sure they will just bin that off and focus on the league. And then Aston Villa, I mean, they are clear favourites for the trophy, but I don't know. I just have a feeling they might not win it. They were okay in their group, but not great, and maybe that lack of European experience will hold them back. So despite English clubs being favourites for the trophies, I wouldn't be shocked if no English club gets their hand on a European trophy in 2024. Prediction number 6, Newcastle sack Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe has done an incredible job at Newcastle, guiding them to a top 4 finish in the Premier League last season, despite being in a relegation zone when he joined. However, things have not gone quite to plan for manager Eddie Howe this term. They are not only struggling to keep pace in the league, but have also crashed out of the Champions League at the group stage, finishing bottom of their group. Now, granted, there is circumstances for all this. They've had 500 injuries and were drawn in the group of death. But still, there's clearly been a bit of regression in this Newcastle team, and I think it could continue into 2024. Now, if Newcastle are to achieve their aim of becoming a big hitter in Europe, Eddie Howe will be under pressure, and I think it might all start to unravel, and Newcastle could see big managers available and bite the bullet, meaning he will be axed to buy the North East outfit before the end of 2024, in my opinion. Prediction number 7. England fail at Euro 2024. Now, I really hope I'm wrong here, and to be honest, I'm kind of just trying to reverse jinx us, but still, I think it's a big possibility, this prediction. Now, England failing at major international tournaments is nothing new, with just one measly World Cup success. They've blown a handful of decent chances under manager Gareth Southgate in recent years, and more misery awaits at the Euros in Germany next summer. Despite having a talented squad which could and probably should win the title, Southgate's overly cautious nature will once again impact England's hopes of lifting a major trophy. As an England fan, I can tell you there is now a massive expectation on this team to win a trophy, and people expect at least a final at the Euros, which for the first time the players and manager will have to deal with at almost every tournament England did well at. In recent times, they only did well when expectations were not on them to win the whole thing. You look at the World Cup, where we got to the semi-finals, nobody really expected England to do much then, or at least England fans. When we got to the Euro final again, people, thought we could maybe do something, but we didn't expect a final. Now, people expect a final, they expect a trophy, and I think Southgate and the team will crumble and crash out at the quarters or semis. But I really hope this prediction fails, though. Number 8. Poch and Ten Hag will be sacked. Another set of sackings in the Prem that will happen in 2024, which is probably a bit more realistic than the Howe one. I believe by the end of 2024, both Chelsea and Man United will have new managers. Now, both are already on thin ice, with both teams struggling, but I think right now both are safe in their jobs, and I even think both could see out the season. But by the end of the year, I will be shocked if Pochettino and Erik Ten Hag are managing their current teams. In Ten Hag's case, the new owners are in, and while I don't think they sack him straight away, I think it could be a bit of a Tuchel Chelsea situation where if things don't click between them, as soon as there is a set of bad results, which is very likely with United, they will pull the trigger and get in their own man. As for Pochettino, well, I actually think the board want to keep him long term, but I just think if things continue like this, the fans will essentially kick him out, as he's not got them on side at all, and as a Chelsea fan, we can't tolerate being mid-table for another year, so I suspect he will be booted out of necessity, really. Who comes in? Well, my next prediction might answer that, because my next prediction number 9, is Roberto De Zerbi will be managing a major club in 2024. Enter Robert De Zerbi, the next big thing in management for me. He's the best up-and-coming manager in Europe right now, in my opinion. His style of play is so terrific. The way he's improved players throughout his career is sensational. He can make instant impact at clubs. He's so passionate. He's got almost every box tick to be a world-class manager. I was watching a Kevin Prince Boateng interview with Rio Ferdinand, great watch by the way, and he said when he managed him as a Swallow, it was insane. Training was the most intense thing ever, and tactically he was on another level, literally telling players exactly where to be in every single moment, and he would stop training every single time a player was a couple inches inches away from where they should be. He's doing great at Brighton, and if, as I said earlier, there could be some big jobs available in 2024, and if Brighton, have a good Europa League run, that might start raising some attention to him for Europe's big boys in 2024, if he hasn't done so already. And in 2024, I think a lot of top jobs will be available. Chelsea, Man United and Barca, for me, as I said, will be available. Maybe PSG if they crash out the UCL, they always sack a manager. Bayern, potentially if they don't win the league. AC Milan and Napoli will surely be available as well. So I believe De Zerbi will be snapped up by at least one of these clubs in 2024. Whether he will be a success or not, I guess we'll find out. And finally, my final prediction for 2024. Number 10, Kylian Mbappé finally joins Real Madrid. And finally, I predict that 2024 will mark the end of a dramatic and, quite frankly, now boring transfer saga surrounding Kylian Mbappé. He was meant to leave 2 years ago, but made a U-turn and signed a new deal for PSG, basically becoming their sporting director. Last summer, Mbappé wanted to stay, but PSG wanted him gone. He didn't extend his contract, and that means he's now got 6 months left on his current deal. He will be free to speak and agree a deal with other clubs now, and while I don't think the Madrid deal gets agreed straight away, I think eventually it will happen. I mean, it has to happen. If it doesn't happen in 2024, mark my words, Mbappé will never play for Real Madrid if it doesn't happen this year. But I think it will, and that's going to be very, very scary. Mbappé, Vinicius, Endrick, and the Ballon d'Or winner, Jude Bellingham. That's a super team. So there we go. Those are my 10 predictions for 2024. We will, of course, review these